Okay, so this is my very first time at making a video. This is going to be our review. Bear with me. I've never done this before. If somebody walks in or something happens, just ignore it. Okay, so this is our first unit test, unit 1 and 2. The last one was like a mini test. This is just a regular test. Here is the review. Here's the deal about the review. If I am writing it down, I feel that it is important and you should be writing it down. Okay, so let's look at number 1. It says, Mia bought flavored popcorn in bulk for the Lubbock Cooper Band fundraiser. The type of popcorn and the amount in pounds is listed below. So we have all this kind of popcorn and the amount of pounds. That's nice. Then it says, list the weight of the popcorn in order from lightest to heaviest. So I know I'm going least to greatest. Okay, I have a bunch of different rational numbers here. I have a decimal, I have an improper fraction, I have a mixed number, and then I have another improper fraction. The easiest way to put something in order is to get them all in the exact same form of rational number. Well, I have a decimal, an easy decimal, and 2 fractions here. So what I think would be the best thing to do is to just convert them all to a decimal. 1.7 is going to stay the same. Okay? Then over here I have 13/7, which I know that there is nothing that is going to get me to a decimal place value if I have a seventh, so my second best option is to just divide. Now I know this is probably going to go on pretty far, so we're just going to go out to probably the thousandth place. So let's just come down here and divide. 13 divided by 7. Okay, will 7 go into 13? Yes, 1 time, put it above the 3. What is 1 times 7? 7, good. Subtract that out. What is 13 minus 7? 6, good. Now, is 6 less than 7? Yes, so what am I going to have to do now? Put a decimal. Then bring down a 0. Will 7 divide into 60? 8 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Bring down another 0. We're going to go out a couple of places. Will 7 go into 40? How many times? 5? 35. Will 7 go into 50? Yes. How many times? 7. Now, it's going to keep going, but that's as far out as I'm going to take it. So I have 1 and 857 thousandths. Next one is pretty easy, 2 and 3/4. You should have 3/4 memorized. It's like 3/4. 2 and 75 hundredths. And then now I have 7/5. There's kind of a trick about the fifths. 7/5. Can I get this to a 10? What do I do to 5 to get a 10? Times 2. What do I do to the bottom? I do to the top. What's 7 times 2? 14. Now I have 14/10. 14 divided by 10. How many times will that go in there? Once. 1 and 4/10. Okay, now it says put them in order from lightest to heaviest. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put them right next to each other. Okay, look at your whole number. I have 3 that start with 1, so that's getting me nowhere. So I'm going to have to go to the next place value. What's my smallest number? Buttered, which was what? 7/5. Remember, you have to go back to the original. Okay, then I have caramel. And then sweet and salty. And then cheese is 4th. So the way I would write this is I would write buttered. Let's write it right up here at the top. Buttered, was 7/5. Caramel was 1 7/10. Sweet and salty was 13/7. And then cheese was 2 3/4. Okay? So my hints on this one is convert all to a decimal first. Okay? Easy enough? All right, number 2. Nick bought a bag of Jolly Rancher candy at the store. The bag contains 72 fruit-flavored candies. The fraction of each flavor is either in the chart or on the number line below. All right, so how many total candies did I have? 72. Okay, I have 4/12. 4/12 of the bag was cherry. 2/18 of the bag was grape. 2/24 of the bag was watermelon. 4/18 of the bag was strawberry. Okay, the easiest thing to do, and my tip on this one, is get a common denominator. Get a common denominator. Well, the common denominator is already given to you. It's right here, 72. Okay, this is going to help us to put it in order. So you have to figure out how many times 4 will go into, 72 divided by 12. Okay? Okay, so I know that 12 to get to 72 was times 6. What I do to the bottom, you do to the top. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay? 18 to get to 72 was times 4. What's 8 times 4? 2 times 4, 8. I do that all the time. 24 to get to 72 was times 3. So that would be 6. And then once again, this is times 4. So that would be 16. Now, right here it wants me to put, and I have an 8 down here. 72 divided by 8, that'll be what? 9. So 1870 seconds. All right, so now we need to put them in order from least to greatest because on a number line it's 0 to 1. So which one of these is my biggest? Cherry. I had the most cherry. So I'm just going to put cherry over here. And that was 4/12. Revert back to the first one like always. And then next was, they have this way over here. This kind of needs to be over here. Okay, so just ignore everything Miss Gentry just did. This is all good, but I should have moved this over here closer to that. I'm just going to make myself a new number line because I don't like how they've done that. So come down here. Here's 0. Here's 1. Which one would be 72, 70 seconds, right? So I have a new number line down here. No big deal. Now, let's just see if I don't even want to use the number line. Okay? You can if you want, but I don't want to. It says right here, there are more watermelon Jolly Ranchers than grape ones. Watermelon, we had 6 out of 72. Grape, we had 8 out of 72. Are there more watermelon than grape? No. There are the same number of cherry candies as there are strawberry candies. Is that true? I had 24 out of 72 and 16 out of 72. Is that true? No. There are more green apple candy than any other flavor. Well, here was my green apple. So come up here and write that. There was 18 out of 72 on that. So there are more than any other flavor of green apple. Is that true? No. There are less watermelon candies than there are cherry candies. I had 6 watermelon and 24 cherry. Is that true? Yes. Now, was that a whole bunch of work for not? That's a whole bunch of work to just get that answer, but if you find the common denominator, you will be fine. Okay? Sorry about the mix-up on the number line. Okay, it says Megan needs to order these numbers how? Greatest to least. So that's big to small. What order will they go? All right, so 6/10, that's easy, 0.6. Negative 4/6. Okay, 4/6 is simplified by 2 would be what? 2/3 equals negative 2/3. Well, Miss Gentry has told you that you should memorize that. Okay, that is 0.6 repeating. Sometimes you can write it like this, 0.667 if you want to round it up. Okay, we want them in order from greatest to least. Well, I only have one positive number, so that's for sure. Oh no, I have two positive numbers. I have two positive numbers, so they're for sure going to be my greatest. On the positive side, the biggest number, the smallest number is actually the smallest number, right? So I want to go biggest to small. So what's my biggest positive number? 0.7. Then what would be next? 6/10. You have to revert back to how the problem was given to you. Okay? Then you have negative 9/10 and negative 2/3, or negative 0.6667. Remember on a number line, if you're at 0 and here is negative 1, remember the further away from 0 you get, the smaller you are. So here would be like negative 0.9, and here would be negative 4/6, which is 0.667 about, right? So what would be my next biggest? The negative 4/6 and then the negative 9/10. Okay, if you need to put that on a number line, you do that. Every day Miss Gentry walks 4/6 of a mile. What? Write a decimal and a percent that represent this amount. 4/6. Supposed to memorize this. This is going to divide by 2. You would get 2/3. If you don't have it memorized, divide it out. 2 divided by 3. What's going to happen? Look what happens. It just keeps repeating and keeps repeating and keeps repeating. Okay? So 2/3 is 0.6 repeating. Okay? For a decimal, move the decimal 2 places to the right. Okay, so 0.66, let's just round it. 1, 2, it's about 66.7%. On your test, you will not get a decimal. So let's do another one. Let's do 1/4. Okay, you should have 1/4 memorized, but if you don't, you can get it to 100. 2,500, so the decimal would be 0.25, and the percent would be, remember, 2 places to the right, 1, 2, 25%. That was just a little extra one Miss Gentry did. Okay, this one right here, that was just an extra one. Just divide. Remember, this number right here tells you to divide if you can't get it to a decimal place value.